Hello everyone! Today we're going to talk about OHUHU new markers. It's the Honolulu Plus series. And we're also going to talk about an incredible giveaway that we are starting today. You don't want to miss out on this video. My name is Jennifer Stay. This is Coloring Bliss, and let's talk about OHUHU Honolulu Plus series. I'm excited to talk about OHUHU today because they have been working on improving the Honolulu series of markers, which I love. In fact, they won our alcohol marker battle. This package right here was in first place. If you missed our alcohol marker battle where we compared a ton of different cheap alcohol markers on Amazon, then check out the link in the video description and watch that video. You're going to learn so much about alcohol markers and what's available on the market today. So this was the package that was in that video. We loved these markers, but guess what? OHUHU has improved these markers, making them even better, and I'm so excited to talk about all the differences in the new markers, the prices, and of course the giveaway. And I want to thank OHUHU. They are one of the friends of this channel, and they have sent us all kinds of products for us to show you. Now, usually on this channel, we are not a sponsored channel, right, Steve?
Right.
And I want to help you understand the difference here. We are not being paid to do this video. What we were given were some products for us to show all of you, and I said yes because I knew we were all going to want to know about this new OHUHU product. And we trust OHUHU, and that's another reason why we don't mind taking some of their products and sharing them and passing them on along to you. So thanks again, OHUHU, for being such a good friend to this channel. Now let me show you what's in these two boxes, because the first thing we need to talk about with the OHUHU Honolulu Plus is the new packaging. Okay, the sets that were sent to me came in these really nice boxes, packed really sturdy. So if you get them through Amazon or a shipper you don't trust too much, I think they're going to get there in one piece because they're so nicely packaged. And as you saw, it says on the front of the box, Honolulu Plus series is what they're calling these. I'm excited to show you the packaging. Let me get this open. Give me just a minute. I'm going to open both boxes. Okay, here are our two sets of markers. We're going to talk about why there's two sets and all that good stuff here in just a minute. But what we're really concentrating on first is the packaging. And look at how pretty this is. It actually, you want to feel it, Steve? I've got Steve, my business partner and husband here.
I love that little dingly thing too.
Let's take a close look at it here. So it's got Honolulu Plus series, so you know exactly what is in the packaging. This is what the previous packaging looked like, more of a black canvas type bag. This one feels like leather, but they're calling it a PU bag, which I assume, Steve and I assume, stands for polyurethane.
I would guess.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
We're guessing. So that is really cool. It feels like leather. It has a really pretty little pull tag here. Look how pretty. Has more information about the markers on the back, including that it's made in China back here. And a really nice zipper with a handle on the top. And then when you open it up, we're getting a blotting sheet, which I love this size of blotting sheet. Sometimes I wish I had a little bit of a bigger blotting sheet, but there are a lot of different ways to make your own blotting sheet. So what is a blotting sheet? Alcohol markers are known for their bleeding through properties. They either ghost through the paper or bleed through almost any thickness of paper. There are some papers out there, including a paper that OHUHU makes, that say they are bleed proof, and we haven't tried that paper yet, but I'd love to see if that's true. But most of the papers that you're ever going to color on with alcohol markers, you're going to have bleed through, and in order to stop that ink from going on to the next page, you want a blotting page in between. This one's made out of a nice plastic, so the ink will resist on it. It's really nice, but like I said, it's only this size. In the United States, we tend to have coloring books that are bigger, 8.5 by 11, and so if you're going to need a blotting sheet for that, you can just use a sheet protector. that works really good. Just put it right between the two layers, or a piece of cardstock, heavy piece of cardstock. That works really great too. So it comes with our blotting sheet, and then here are the colors. We're going to talk about the colors that are included in each set here in just a minute. So pretty. Oh, we have so much to talk about that. Maybe you're seeing it right now as you're looking at the colors, but there is something new about that too. So let's look and take a peek here in the 36 set, give you your first peek. It's also got a blotting sheet, so that's good. And then here are the colors in the 36 set. We're going to swatch them all, of course, and check them all out. It also includes a leaflet in here, which has a swatch chart, and then their products all listed in this OHUHU pamphlet. So if you have any questions on how to use it or their other products, this is a really good resource. So really well packaged. Once again, we're just really impressed with OHUHU, and I think it's a nice step up from the original series here, the Honolulu series, to now the Plus series. Pretty cool. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is that there are 2 sets, and only 2 sets available right now for the Honolulu Plus series. That's the 24 and the 36 set. From what we understand, there are 24 colors in here and then 36 different colors over here. So we're going to find out if that's true. We're going to see if there's a colorless blender, all those good things we need to know. So let's do a little swatching. And as we're swatching, I want you to notice something else on my list of important things to know. There's a new color system. So let's see what that involves. Okay, I'm going to swatch these 2 different ways because I want to know what colors are included in the 24 and in the 36. So if you were to purchase a set of markers, which one would I recommend first? That's one question I have. But I also want to know, if you have purchased both sets, what does the color system look like in that situation? So for that, I'm going to swatch in my Swatch Bliss book. If you've never checked out our swatch books over at coloringbliss.com, you totally need to, because we have coloring swatch books that you can print on marker paper, which is this one right here, or on watercolor or tan paper or color pencil paper. We have all kinds of swatch books. That's one of our most popular products over at Coloring Bliss, is our swatch books. So let's start swatching on the little cards first, and then we'll combine these 2 sets and swatch them a second time to see what the whole spectrum of colors looks like. Okay, we've learned a few things just by swatching the 24 set and the 36 set. Let's take a closer look at these 2. Really pretty colors. All I've used so far is the chisel tip to do this, so I haven't tried the new nib. I'm so excited. But that is what the 2 sets look like. We've got a nice range of grays here over in the 36. The one thing I noticed in the 24 that's really lacking is there's no red. No just good red. There's a raspberry color, but no really good red. But over here you get tomato, which is a nice red, so that kind of made up for it. We were under the impression that there were no duplicates between the 2 sets, but we discovered 6 different duplicates between the 2 sets. But on the plus side, the colorless blender is included in both sets, but not as one of the colors. So technically you're getting 24 markers that are different colors plus 1 colorless blender. So 25 markers here, and again 36 colors plus 1 colorless blender, so 37 markers over here. So I love that they didn't take away a color for the colorless blender. Okay, Steve, let's show them what you've been working on while I've been doing the swatching. We'll trade for that. This is my organizer that I used for the big alcohol marker battle and to get all the markers into color order according to the artist color wheel. So that's what Steve has done here, just roughly getting them into a correct order. So we're going to go through and swatch all of them. Let's see, 24 plus 36 is 60. All 60 markers onto this page, and I will mark on here as I go when I find the duplicates so I can show those to you once we get them swatched here. Now, while you're watching me swatch the Honolulu Plus series as a 60 set, let's talk about the prices of each individual set. Now, these prices will be Amazon prices as of May 6, 2025 here in the United States. So we've got the 24 set, which is actually 25 markers, remember, and that is retailing at $55. So that comes in at about $2.20 per marker. And then we have the 36 set, which is actually 37 markers. That one is retailing for $80 for the set, which is about $2.16 per marker. Okay, we have all of them swatched into a beautiful page now with 60 different swatches. Here it is. I'm going to bring it up to the camera so you can see nice and close all the colors. I always look for a nice light, medium, and dark of each color. That's the first thing I look for to make sure that there is that kind of balance. And then I like to have some good neutral colors like grays and earth tones. So what do we think? Steve, will you come over and give us your eye? You're so good at looking at colors. Okay, Steve's been looking at it. So there's two things I want to ask you. How did they do as a whole if you were to buy both sets and this was your selection? And then second of all, what do you think of the new color system?
I think they did a really good job. You know, you got pretty much every color on the color wheel.
Yeah.
You know, a mother color of every color on the color wheel. And then, like you said, we like to find a light and a dark. And I think you can find a light and a dark for every color on the color wheel. Plus, you have some nice grays. You know, the browns, the earth tones. I mean, yeah, they're there. I think you could get skin tones out of it. I think you could color, you know, flowers and foliage, skies. Like, I'm actually pretty impressed with it.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. And then what do you think of the color system?
Well, we put, you know,
This is the color system here. So we've got Y to YR to R to RV to V. We used to have P's for purple in the old system. So there is differences here. V to BV to B to BG to G. So it's following the color wheel, right?
Right.
And then Y.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I think it makes sense what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so without really going through and trying to put it into our preferred color order, I think it's pretty good because all we did is just went by the numbers, right?
Right.
The letters and the numbers.
All of it is first with the color Y and then to YR and then to R like that. And then we did numerical.
Right. And so I think, yeah, I like that they're thinking that through, you know, and especially for a budget company. But now with tariffs, their prices have gone up.
The prices are, you know, it's $2
They're kind of leaving
marker.
the budget arena for a while.
Right.
You know, who knows in the future what'll happen. But.
Let's be honest, it's now a more of a mid-range price for this line. I don't know how the prices have changed on the other Honolulu, but they are shooting for a professional audience in this particular set. That's what they've said in their marketing. So they are going up against Copic and Olo and those bigger like Blick Studio markers, all those bigger brands, Prismacolor. That's who they're going after here. So, yeah.
What's cool to me is that we didn't just get all midtones.
Right.
You know, you can tell that they really put some thought into it. And so I'm impressed with that.
I am a little sad. My favorite color is purple. And when you come to the red, violet, and violet here,
There's just
which
one
is
violet.
like one violet and two red violets. But it's just 60 markers. So they had to do something. They've got lots of yellows, which is really rare to have this many yellows in a smaller set.
Right. And obviously our guess, and well, it's not even really a guess because they told us they're doing it with the Honolulu OHUHU, so that they're going to expand this line and we'll get more colors later.
Yeah, we'll get more. I am disappointed that there are 6 duplicates. That's a little hard to take when it's a small set like 60. So I would have preferred if there was 24 unique colors in the 24 set and then an additional 36 unique colors.
So you had 60 unique colors.
60, but now we only have 54
But at least
colors.
it's only 6, though. I
mean, they could have duplicated
the
entire 24 and just added 12, which is kind of what I thought that they had done when I first looked at it. That was my first thought, but that's not what they did. So now, if I were to recommend, of course, I'd recommend you get both sets. That would be, because you need all the colors, right? But if you only can afford one set right now, it's got to be the 36 set, because it still has a little bit of everything, plus the beautiful grays, and you get your good red, your good blues. But over here, you don't have a good red. That's like a real wah-wah in the 24 set. You get that beautiful raspberry color here. So if reds aren't your thing, you do get that pretty raspberry color. But over here you get tomato, and when we did the big alcohol marker battle, it really was interesting to see how many didn't have a good red.
Yeah.
So I think that's why my senses are heightened in the red department right now, because that was a problem in that alcohol marker battle. So the next thing we need to talk about, we've got new packaging, 2 sets, new color system. Now we get to talk about the nib. So let's take a close look at these markers, and let's talk about the different properties of the new Supreme nib. Okay, let's take a close look at this marker right here. This is R410 Raspberry, that really pretty raspberry color. I'll bring it up to camera so you can see. It says OHUHU Honolulu Plus, so we know we have the new Supreme nib on here. And it says it conforms to ASTM D4236 on the marker, which means that it's been tested so that it doesn't cause chronic health problems when you use the marker. Now it has an indicator over here that we have the Supreme brush nib on the right side, and over here we have a chisel nib. The marker itself is round and it has color indicators on both ends of the marker, so that's great. And then it has little tabs on the caps so that it won't roll on your desk. So that's really handy and nice. It can make it a little tricky to get in and out of a system like this. Those little tabs catch sometimes, but that's just me being picky. So let's take a look at the chisel nib here on it, and I believe it's the same chisel nib as the original Honolulu markers. Let me grab a marker from this set right here, which, like I said earlier, this is the set that won our alcohol marker battle. So I'm going to grab one marker from there, and you can see the difference here. It just says OHUHU art marker on it, and then it has a fine point over here. And on this one it has the brush nib. So we don't have a chisel to compare for this particular marker, but the body is the same. It feels like an OHUHU marker, just like this one feels like an OHUHU marker. So difference here is we got a fine nib over here on the set that won the alcohol marker battle. This one we get a chisel, which I prefer. Having a chisel and a brush nib is fantastic, because the brush nib can do your fine details and your flick blending, which we're going to practice here in a minute, and then the chisel can go in and do large areas without damaging your really precious nib,
and
your
I
brush
think
nib.
the reason we got a fine on that one is just the chisel was out of stock. when we went to buy them.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, because I checked the other day. I think I checked recently, and the chisel was available.
Yeah, so there is a line of the OHUHU Honolulu that is brush and chisel. So it would be identical to this, except this one has our Supreme nib. So let's take a look at the two brush nibs side by side. As you can see, they stack at the back, the caps do. They post, that's the technical term. So here in the darker colored nib is our old nib, and then here is our new Supreme nib, the brighter, more raspberry color. This one looks more cone shape. This one seems to go long and then go into the cone. So there is a shape difference going on here. Ooh, I can't wait to put these to the paper and see how they feel. But the first thing I wanted to do was compare them and how they look different so that you can see that. Now let me clear out some space and we'll talk about the new Supreme nib. Okay, to refamiliarize myself with how the old OHUHU nib felt, let me do some flicking here. Feels nice, does a really thin line. You can do a squiggly line. So all your fine point work you can do with a brush nib, and then you have the option to go in and go wide and get those flicks that are all important when we are doing our blending. Now the new Supreme nib is supposed to be softer, more flexible, and it's made from an upgraded rubber which improves the durability. So let's see. Oh yeah, I can feel the difference. It drags differently. Still can do all the things we want to do. Interesting. Okay, I'm really feeling it now. Sorry if you can hear that. That's Rose. She's digging. She's got to get it just right. I'm going to grab the old brush nib here and feel it again. Okay, on this paper, this nib flows across the paper a little easier, less friction. And the new Supreme nib, which is the rubber nib, it's different. It's going to take a little, you can go lighter with it. Up here with these flicks, I'm doing a little more pressure, and with these flicks, I can go even lighter pressure and still get a beautiful flick. They totally feel different. So yeah, I wondered if.
Feel the difference.
Oh, okay. I wondered if I would feel like. Let me move so Steve can get in here. But I wondered if I would feel like, oh, it's not much of a difference. Why did they bother? But yeah. Okay, Steve, give it a try.
Okay, here we go. I'll do this blue-green.
Blue-green, okay.
All right, so this is the original, right?
The blue is, yes.
Yeah, and I'm going to do crazy lines.
Want to move it up a little bit so they can see your crazy line?
And I am not an artist, so I don't even know what I'm doing here.
You're not a marker artist, but you are definitely an artist.
I just wanted to feel the difference. That's all. This is not very good art.
Now this is the new blue-green, the new Supreme nib. Softer, more flexible.
Yeah. I see what you mean
rubber.
As far as you can have a lighter touch with it.
Yeah.
Whoa, you can get really, yeah.
In my opinion, if you have a brush nib, you don't need a fine point.
Let's do the crazy lines.
Now,
wow, that's different.
While you're sitting there, you want to test the chisel nib.
This is ridiculous. Look at that.
It's a beautiful piece of art.
It kind of looks like I need a smile.
You made a beautiful piece of art. Thank you, Steve.
It looks like a child did it. It's so bad.
It's
yes, my artistic level is actually at the level of a child. Oh, my word.
Okay, let me in there. Okay, so really the way we need to test this is to color something. So I have a secret project that I'm working on, you guys. It's a new coloring book idea, and I want you to comment below what you think of this idea. My vision is 100 simple illustrations to color. The first book will be in the theme of like a spring garden with bird images, flower images, butterflies, dragonflies, that kind of thing. My idea is that I want it to be really simple, easy illustrations that you can sit down and experiment with your tools and just get done quickly and then move on to another project. So if you like that idea, comment below and let me know that you would like me to keep working on this project. So for this, I'm going to grab one of them. Look, I've got, just to give you an idea of my vision, it would look like this. And it would be bound at the top, and you could have it printed in any kind of paper, our color pencil paper, or for me right now these are printed on mixed media. Is that what you did? Oh, you did marker paper for me. So I think I'll do this little flower right here, and I want to test the blending and see how it lays down on our beautiful marker paper here.
Are you going to hang my art on the back wall?
Oh yes, we should totally hang it up.
It's so bad.
I think it's beautiful.
No, you don't. And that's fine. I'm not offended.
Okay, so I want to pick some fun colors. Let's do up here, since we've got lots of yellows and yellow reds, let's do this and this as sort of my mid-tone and dark, and then maybe melon yellow as my light. I don't know, I've never colored with these. Let's see how it'll work. I'm going to start with my lightest color and go in here and fill in the whole. It definitely wants a really light touch, you guys. This is a light touch project. I mean a light touch tool. Okay, I've got the first one done. This is different. It feels different. One thing I didn't mention about these markers is they do have a gray band right here to indicate which end has the brush tip. So you reach for the end with the gray band when you're coloring a blend. Let me go again here and I'll kind of walk you through it. This is basically Jennifer's rule of blending thirds again. So you fill in the whole area with your lightest color. And I'm not being too precious here because I want to see if you just go for it, how does it perform? Then you do about 2/3 of the petal with your mid-tone, and then you do about 1/3 of the petal with your darkest color. Then back to your mid-tone on top of your dark and just blend it out, blend out that transition right there. And then you go back to your lightest color, and we're blending out this transition now. Okay, so the inks, I believe, are the same inks as what is in the Honolulu series. So this is just a new brush nib that is supposed to be more durable. So if you're doing a lot of coloring, like if you're a professional, or you do the amount of work as a professional, so you're coloring lots, then you need a nib that's going to stand up against a lot of use and abuse. And in a second I'm going to bring in the grays to help with our shading. Show you how I do that. Okay, I'm going to run around with these markers and do all of our petals, just like I showed you, Jennifer's rule of blending thirds. And then I'll come back when I'm ready to add gray. Okay, I want to add just a little more shading so that the petals pop. So I grabbed the gray. This is YG18 Stone Gray. Let's see if that works to add a little bit more shadow. Oh, it's pretty dark. Let's go down to YG17. Would have been smarter to test this off on a scratch paper. Ah, that's better. And I'm just going to help these top petals really pop by adding just a hint of a shadow with grays. This is why I like grays. So I picked a yellow gray because we're using yellowy colors. So it should feel appropriate. And then I don't like, I think the little, I don't know what's called, the center part needs to be darker. So I'm going to grab, let's grab this color, E614 Maple. And just tap in a few darker, and I think we could go even darker, you guys. Let's grab this really dark gray. This is BGY38 Charcoal Gray. Tap in a little bit in there. Okay, now I made a little mistake over here. I went out of the line, so I want to test the colorless blender now. When you're fixing a mistake like this, like I have two little, oh, and a couple more there. I have a few. I use the chisel nib, and the idea is you're sort of pushing the ink. It's not going to erase it, it's more of a pushing is what you need to imagine. And yellow happens to be one of the easier colors to fix. So happy for me. And if we want to keep playing with the colorless blender, I'm going to lighten up the top two petals just a little bit on the ends. Just for fun, just to play with our tools. Okay, so besides these four, I used a couple grays and that brown, and that is my finished product. I would finesse this a little bit more, like some of these orange lines are a little bit too prominent for me, the transition between the yellow and the orange, so you can just fiddle with it like this. There's lots of things you can do. We teach an entire 4-part course. It's called Alcohol Marker Fast Track, and I teach you all kinds of blending, including Jennifer's Rule of Blending Thirds. So if you want to learn about that program, follow the link in the video description. I feel like I didn't get any yellow right there. I love these simple illustrations, quick and easy. Now this is very wet, so I think it's paying off a little darker. See how much ink we laid down? It went straight through onto my glass board, which is no big deal. I can clean that without any problems. Okay, the next question we have to address is, how does this rubber brush nib compare to the big boy, the Copic? Everybody compares everything to Copic. So not too long ago, Copic was doing a promotion where you could get a free sketch marker. So this is my free sketch marker. So this will be a brand new, Steve, a brand new, never been used before marker. What color did we get? We got B00 Forest Blue. It's a pretty light blue, so hopefully we'll be able to see this on camera. And I'm going to grab B03, which looks, this one is called Frost Blue, and this one is Frost Blue. Ooh, intrigue. I wonder, I don't think they're the same color, but they're the same name. So let's see. If I come down here on this piece of paper, and this is the OHUHU Honolulu marker first. I'm going to just do some flicks, get the feel of it, some lines. Okay, now let's come down and use our brand new Copic sketch marker, which has the all famous Japanese nib. Okay, right off, this one feels slicker on my paper. not as much friction and drag.
Which one?
The Copic. Interesting. So they're different. They're definitely not the same nib. So if you're a professional artist and you're wondering, should I try these new nibs compared to these nibs? If you're unhappy with the Copic nib or you just want to try a different nib, then the new Honolulu Plus is something you need to try because it's a totally different feel.
Interesting.
It feels a little bit more, the sketch feels a little more like the old Brush Nib.
The Olo?
The old
Sorry.
OHUHU Brush Nib.
All these names.
All these names. Okay, so let me try it now. Go back to... Yeah, there's a difference, which is cool to me. That means we get to try different things and see what blends best. This is the old OHUHU Honolulu Brush Nib here. Steve grabbed it for me. This one feels stiffer, not as flexible. So that's a big difference. You can see it right here. There's like a hook where the flex happens, and there's no hook here because I'm used to this one. So like I said before, this is going to take a little practice because we've got more flex. And you can go way lighter. This is really interesting. So we have 3 very different brush nibs to try.
Interesting.
Very cool. Now I want to try the Olo. Let me grab a light blue in Olo. This one right here will work. Let's see how Olo works. It feels like a combination between the nibs. So technically we have 4 very different brush nibs here between Olo, Copic, Honolulu Original Series, and Honolulu Supreme, the new series, the Plus series. Wow, as an artist, that gives us so many different options, and you can try them and see what feels best for you. And I think you're going to get beautiful, amazing results from no matter which marker you pick. So, if you don't win our giveaway, which I'm going to tell you about here in a minute, should you run out and buy the new Honolulu Plus series? And I would say it depends. If you don't own a marker with a brush tip yet, and you like using alcohol markers, then you really need to try a brush tip, and I would send you to the new series because I think this new series is only going to grow, it's going to get bigger. Cost-wise, it's right in there with the original Honolulu Chisel Brush Nib. That set there had 48 for 53, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little cheaper per marker to go with the older Honolulu version. But like I said, I really think they're going to grow this line, use this new numbering system. So if you're going to invest in a brush nib, I would send you to the Honolulu Plus. So if you already own the Honolulu with a brush nib, I don't think you need to run out and buy this yet. I think I would wait as it grows, as the sets get bigger. Use up your original Honolulu markers, enjoy them, but kind of keep in the back of your mind that eventually I think you're going to want to change out to this series because the nib is supposed to be a much more durable and wear resistant, so we can be more abusive on them and not feel like they're so precious. They're still way cheaper than the Copics. The Copics usually come in around $5 a marker, and we're talking about $2.20 per marker for these ones. So it's still a budget-friendly alternative to these more expensive brands. So keep that in mind. But what I want to talk about next is the giveaway, because our prize this month for the giveaway is worth $165, and you're going to get 3 things. One winner gets 3 things from OHUHU. Let me show you what you're going to get. Okay, before we talk about the giveaway, I wanted to show you how pretty that flower turned out. So pretty. Love this new idea. Again, let me know in the comments below if you want a book like I've been talking about. But let's talk about the giveaway. 3 prizes for 1 awesome winner. You just need to follow the link in the video description. It's going to take you to our website where there are lots of different ways to enter. The first things that you're going to win is both sets of the new Honolulu Plus series. So you get the 36 and the 24, what I've been demonstrating today, brand new for you, both sets. So cool. And then we're also including a product that we're going to review next week, and that's the OHUHU Nahuku. These are acrylic markers in a really nice case. I'm so excited to play around with this and show you how these work in next video. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you don't forget and don't miss out on seeing all about the acrylic markers. We're also going to be comparing them to 2 other acrylic markers that OHUHU offers. So lots to talk about next week. So this will be the prize. You get all 3. One of you lucky people. It's worth $165. Woohoo! Maybe we'll throw in some extra things too, like some coloring pages, and yeah, we'll spoil you. So you definitely want to win this prize. Follow the link in the video description. Let's see, the giveaway starts today, May 7th, 2025, and ends May 21st, 2025. That gives you about 2 weeks. It gives you 2 weeks to get your entries in, so don't delay. We're going to be announcing the winner on May 22nd via email. So coming up on your screen right now are some reminders so that you don't get scammed during this giveaway. We don't want anyone to get scammed. We just want to have fun and do a giveaway. So follow those little tips and tricks. Just remember, we don't ask for any money. When you win this prize, we're going to pay for shipping. We'll pay for the whole thing, and it'll come to you, and you get to start enjoying these beautiful OHUHU products. Thank you so much again to OHUHU for sending us these markers so that we can review them. It was so much fun to try out the new nib. I love that we have so many options in markers nowadays. There's just really no excuse. Buy yourself a beautiful set of markers and enjoy them and have a lot of fun coloring and creating beautiful art. Thank you so much for joining us. I can't wait for you to join us again next week for more OHUHU products. And I hope you have a wonderful, colorful, blissful day. Bye-bye, everyone.